So I was just in my room, minding my own business. I was creating a Hard Knocks preview for you guys, showing you where the Rams are at, showing you where the Chargers are at. I was 80% done with the video. And then I got two insane headlines. And typically, I don't know if you guys know, and I guess this is kind of common sense, but the way I operate this channel is I try to get you guys the news that I think you care about the most first. And in this scenario, I think a person that we're all rooting for in Josh Gordon admitting something fairly, tough to admit, and Jamal Adams demanding a trade are two fairly important topics. Now, I don't know which one you guys care about the most. I'm going to try to do my best to divide the video as so. I typically don't like to spend too much time talking about something unless if there's in-depth analysis to get to. But before we get to the content, guys, really quickly, please take a moment to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on my notifications because every like helps this channel grow, and we are on the grind to 100,000 subscribers. It's okay if you don't even want to subscribe. If you don't mess with me that hard, that's cool. Just leaving a like is enough for me. On top of that, I really encourage you guys to check us out on Twitch. We've been doing something that I don't think anyone's ever done in the Madden community, and it's pretty much we're going all the way back to 2002, and we're re-simulating the entire NFL until 2020. We do 1 year every single simulation on Twitch. I'm pretty confident that at least 80 to 90% of you guys would enjoy it. So I'll leave a link to my Twitch channel in the description down below because there's a chance that I might be live doing that right now. Aside from that, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Your boy Mikerophone back again with some NFL news, guys. Let's start out with Jamal Adams because it's not nearly as grim as the Josh Gordon saga. For those of you guys that don't know, this Jamal Adams issue goes all the way back, and there's one little pillar, one little block. Think of it as Jenga. One little straw that really broke Jamal Adams' back. Now, the story with Jamal Adams is fairly simple, and it has to do with the fact that my man Jamal Adams got drafted 6th overall in the 2017 NFL Draft. Now, during the 2018 season and last season, Jamal Adams has lived up to the billing of a top 10 draft pick. Because in the 2018 season and the 2019 season, he made it to the Pro Bowl. In the 2019 season, he became a first-team All-Pro. And in the 2018 season, he became a second-team All-Pro. Throughout his career, Jamal Adams has 273 total tackles, 12 sacks, 6 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, 2 interceptions, and 2 defensive touchdowns. Now, you also have to factor something else in. It is very, very rare to find a good safety in the NFL. I've only seen a handful of them coming up and growing up, and even some of them haven't been very good for very long. I'm mainly thinking of Bob Sanders, and yes, I did watch Flemlo's video on Bob Sanders, and it was awesome. Away. But off the top of my head, man, I'm thinking Steve Atwater, Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, Bob Sanders, Ed Reed, Ronnie Lott, and that's straight off the top of my head. I guess you could say Roy Williams because I'm a Cowboy fan too. What I'm trying to say is it's very rare to find a good, strong safety, and Jamal Adams is that, exactly, a good, strong safety. It's kind of strange to me because, I don't know, if you're drafting at the number 6 overall pick and you're targeting a specific position, you could only imagine that you're thinking, hey, I really hope this number 6 overall pick can become a pillar of my team. And that's exactly what Jamal Adams ended up becoming. But there's one tiny little issue. You see, I say this time in and time again, the old New York Jets general manager was Mike Maccagnan, right? And he was fired. And in last summer, literally a year ago, Joe Douglas took over the general manager position. So there are some moves that and for the sake of simplicity, because I just botched saying the old general manager's name again and again, we're just gonna call him Mike Mack. So the one thing that Mike Mack did that could potentially have frustrated the New York Jets is he placed a huge emphasis in positions that were considered to be commodity positions. You know, you don't exactly need a great strong safety to be successful, although it would be nice. You could definitely build a team off of the back of a great strong safety. You don't necessarily need a, former all-pro running back to be successful. But if you happen to encounter one and draft one, then great, so long as you're not paying him a lot of money. Well, guess what? Mike Mack drafted Jamal Adams as a top 10 pick over Patrick Mahomes, by the way, and he also opted to sign Le'Veon Bell. All in all, I feel like these combinations and a bunch of other things resulted in him inevitably getting fired. Joe Douglas is the new guy. It is possible that Joe Douglas doesn't feel like it's worth overpaying a safety for the future. That could be the only theory that I could come up with why the Jets don't want to pay Jamal Adams a contract. Of course, Jamal Adams is very upset about this because he definitely deserves the contract that he gets. Now, Jamal Adams said in a very, very angry Instagram comment today that maybe it's time to move on. And on top of that, he went ahead and demanded a trade. And he gave a list of teams that he would like to be traded to. Mainly the Baltimore Ravens, Dallas Cowboys, Houston Texans, Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles, San Francisco 49ers, and Seattle Seahawks. Man, I think he'd do well on the Cowboys or the Seahawks, considering the fact that the Cowboys have a tie to the Legion of Boom with Chris Richard as their, defensive back coordinator, I think he is, or he calls their plays on defense, I believe. And the Seattle Seahawks, well, they have a great defense still, and they've been consistent as hell through the Pete Carroll era. Now, the only trade that I could come up with that I think it makes sense is the Dallas Cowboys trading Michael Gallup for Jamal Adams. The reason being they drafted CeeDee Lamb. Michael Gallup was a 1,000-yard receiver last season. I don't think he's going to be a 1,000-yard receiver this season. There's just way too much depth. You don't know how Mike McCarthy's offense is going to go. That trade as a Cowboy fan always made sense to me, but feel free to let me know in the comment section down below what trade you believe would make the most sense for Jamal Adams, and if you're a Jets fan, please let me know how you feel about the way the Jets are handling the situation. Now, in other news, in a very rare combined news video, we have one of the most talented wide receivers in the NFL who has struggled with drug addiction, unfortunately. Now, look, I don't want to judge Josh Gordon. Based off of my reading and based off of what I know from him, he seems like a remarkable human being that has just had such a tough life. And this is the hand he's been dealt, and he's trying to make it work. And it seems like the NFL's trying to make it work too. Now, Josh Gordon has applied for reinstatement, and he joins Randy Gregory and Aldon Smith as players that are applying for reinstatement. And he's technically an unrestricted free agent currently. Now, whenever he's on the field, he's absolutely remarkable. He's definitely a game-changing talent. The problem is, well, he's not always on the field. Now, according to the latest info we received, according to Adam Kenner, Josh had a lapse because of his brother's death. But since that time, he has realized how important it is to take the right steps, do what's proper, and understand how to manage these issues. He's installed the right team around him to make sure he's on the right path. He understands he's been given every chance, and he looks forward to making the most of this. Now, of course, teams have heard this from Josh Gordon before, and I could understand if a team is frustrated, but at the end of the day, you do not know what neurological makeup Josh Gordon has. This is stuff that is stemming all the way to his childhood. So if a team wants to truly harness the potential and the talent of Josh Gordon, then, well, they better get prepared to deal with his illness. And I've seen teams do it successfully before. I think the Patriots did a remarkable job managing him. I really hope that a team like the Patriots could take him back in. He seems to be doing the best when there's some discipline and there's some boundaries around him. But even if he does get reinstated, I'm not exactly sure what team would want to give him a chance. You could say the Seattle Seahawks again. I'm not exactly too sure. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. That's all I really have to say about Josh Gordon. I really, really hope he gets the help he needs. Aside from that, I'm your boy Microphone, and I'll catch you guys in our next upload.